And welcome to May 13th Township Committee meeting. Okay. Notice this meeting is being held in accordance with the public laws of 1975, Chapter 231. An adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by a notice sent to the Star Ledger, the local source, and posted in the main lobby of the municipal building and on the Township website. All right. Let's have the Pledge of Allegiance by Carl Ostergaard, Junior Vice Commander, American Legion, Post 228. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for our servicemen here and abroad. Thank you. Springfield, 55 plus.
Roll call.
Oh, roll call, I'm sorry.
Mayor Huber,
He's here.
Deputy Mayor Laufer,
Present.
Committeeman Capides,
Here.
Committeeman Kaiser,
Here.
and Committeeman Weber is on his way.
Springfield 55 plus residents calendar is here for May. All right, Pizza with the Police, Wednesday, May 21st, from 5 to 7 at TD Pizza. And go and meet the police officers. They're there, and it's nice. It's nice. All municipal offices will be closed on Monday, May 26th, in observance of Memorial Day. Memorial Day, Monday, May 26th, ceremony begins at 10 a.m. at Veterans Park, with the parade immediately following down Mountain Avenue to Jonathan Dayton High School, where Springfield Hillside Elks Lodge 2004 has a free hot dog and drink waiting. Grand Marshal for the 2025 is Rick Novak. Springfield Community Pool opens for the season Saturday, May 24th, noon to 7. Membership registration and daily hours at www.thesay.org/SCP. Pride Month flag raising is Friday, May 30th at 4:30 Chisholm Community Center. Rain or shine. Okay, and we have a couple of proclamations. Here's the one. It's EMS Week, May 18th to the 24th.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for giving me the honor to read this on your behalf. This proclamation is to designate the week of May 18th to 24th of 2025 as Emergency Medical Services Week. We care for everyone. Whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas the members of the emergency medical services teams are ready to provide life-saving care for those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury, and whereas emergency medical services system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, and other out-of-hospital medical care providers, and whereas the members of emergency medical services teams, whether career or volunteer, engage of thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills, and whereas our township relies not only upon the members of our Springfield First Aid Squad, but also upon the generosity of those residents and businesses that provide the financial support to fund EMS equipment, operations, and training. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and accomplishments of the emergency medical services system by designated Emergency Medical Services Week. Now therefore, I, Richard Huber, Mayor of the Township of Springfield, on behalf of the Township Committee, do hereby proclaim the week of May 18th through the 24th as Emergency Medical Services Week in the Township of Springfield, where the theme, "We Care for Everyone," and encourage the community to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities, and to support the efforts of the First Aid Squad and consider membership to this vital all-volunteer organization. And the mayor has affixed his seal and seal.
And I believe the
Elizabeth?
First Aid Squad are late coming. They had a meeting, but they...
They're here.
Oh, they're here. I didn't see them. Liz, I was looking for you. I looked. Sorry, Liz. I-
Thank you. Now we have a proclamation for the centennial anniversary of the Township of Springfield Police.
Okay. Whereas,
That's it.
whereas, since the founding of the Township of Springfield in 1794, law enforcement for the township has progressed from appointed constables with the assistance of county authorities for larger issues, whose duty it was to arrest and transport criminals to county jail, to the appointment of special officers in the early 1900s. And whereas the Township Committee realized the need for the establishment and maintenance of a police department in the Township of Springfield, and whereas the Springfield Police Department was established by a final reading ordinance at a special meeting of the Township Committee on May 25th, 1925, and whereas by resolution, Edward Ruban was appointed the first chief of police and Milton Runyon as the first sole officer of the Springfield Police Department, both with annual salaries as well as special officers being appointed at a per diem rate for actual service performed. And whereas the Springfield Police Department today is comprised of 46 full-time police officers, 4 Class II special law enforcement officers, and 4 civilian employees, and consists of a patrol unit, a detective bureau, and several specialized units. And whereas the Springfield Police Department has become a New Jersey state-accredited law enforcement agency, achieving 4 accreditation cycles in 2014, 2017, 2020, and 2024, and an achievement displaying commitment to excellence in policing that only 7.89% of all New Jersey law enforcement agencies has achieved. And whereas the Springfield Police Department has completed 100 years of exemplary service to the residents and businesses of the Township of Springfield, and whereas those who traverse its boundaries between May 1925, and May 25th, 2025. Now, therefore, Mayor Richard Huber and the Township of Springfield, on behalf of the Township Committee, do hereby commend Police Chief John Cook and the entire Township of Springfield Police Department for its 100 years of exemplary service to our community and proclaim May 25th, 2025 as Centennial Anniversary of the Township of Springfield Police Department.
They can hear me, I'm sure. Nobody tells me I was a big man. All right. You know you're fired. Okay? Repeat after me. I, your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
And to the government established in the United States
and to the government established in the United States
and in this state.
and in this state,
Under authority of people, and that I will faithfully,
under authority of the people, that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the officer of,
of the officer of police officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Thank you and good luck. Okay.
I'll talk about them all when I'm done.
Yeah. Then you get 2 minutes. Next gentleman I'm calling up, I've known his whole life, I guess, most of his life. Anthony Fergulione. Oh, man. Sure you passed the test? Christian
Muehlhausen.
Muehlhausen? What's a tough name? Okay. Sister, Mom? Oh, sure. Okay. Repeat after me. I state your name.
Support the
Good one.
Constitution
Put your
of
hand.
the United States
And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
alliance to the
and
same,
and alliance to the same,
and to the government established in the United States
and to the government established in the United States
and in this state,
and the state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of office of police officer
performance of all the duties of
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Yeah, you don't need to clasp it, just, you know.
You stick him, you stick him. We have first aid here.
No, wait.
Mr. Mayor.
If, I know. Yeah, you guys can sit.
Can I say something?
Yeah, I think we'll all take 30 seconds.
I want to thank the Township Committee. This is the first time that our staffing has exceeded 44. We're now at 46. That's the first time in history of this department that it's been that high. And the town is growing quite a bit, which is the reason why we need more officers. So I appreciate the committee allowing me. It took several months to go through interviews and select the 3 young men that we have. So this is not a roast, so I'm not going to roast anybody, but I'm just going to, just a little bit about each gentleman here. So Officer Rashid Justin. Rashid comes to our team having several years of prior police experience from working for the NJIT Police Department and more recently the East Orange Police Department, from which he earned numerous honors, including Life Saving Award, Excellence of Duty Award, High Merit Award, as well as multiple command citations. He's also certified as a SWAT officer. While attending the Essex County Police Academy, Officer Justin was entrusted with guiding and supporting his fellow officers as a platoon leader. Rashid strongly believes in building bridges between law enforcement and the communities they serve by engaging with the youth of the community and participating in community events to build trust and mutual respect through positive interactions. Rashid is supported here tonight by his friends, lot of colleagues I see who might say otherwise from what he said about himself. And most importantly, his mother Nellie and grandmother Patricia. Thank you for letting us have him. He's going to be a great asset for us, and we take good care of him. So thank you. Thanks, everyone, for showing up for Rashid. Officer Anthony Carigliano. Anthony joins our team coming from the Union County Sheriff's Office after having graduated from the John H. Stamler Police Academy of Union County. He also recently graduated from Kane University. Well, actually, today was his graduation. He didn't bother to show up. He didn't go because he thought he had to come to work, but if he had told me, I would have given him time off to go and graduate, but it is what it is. Anthony is a Springfield native, having attended the Springfield school system and graduated from Jonathan Dayton High School as a three-sport varsity player, football, basketball, and lacrosse, and has used his talents to coach basketball and lacrosse for the youth teams here in Springfield, from which he had to take a short break to attend the police academy. Once he settles in with our department, he intends to get back to giving to our youth by assisting with coaching football in the summer and the fall. Anthony is also a product of our department's Springfield Junior Police Academy in 2016. In his interview, at least he said that that experience is what got his interest started in law enforcement. Don't know if he said that to kind of, kiss butt or not, I don't know. But Anthony is supported here tonight by his friends and family, especially his mom, Tara, and grandmother, Sharon. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, family. Okay. And again, we'll take good care of him. And actually, I realize I know some of you because I've been in this town so long, so it's, yeah. Officer Christian Muehlheisen. Christian grew up in Montgomery Township and joins our team coming from the Point Pleasant Police Department, where he served as a Class II officer before attending the Ocean County Police Academy. He also interned at the Somerset County Prosecutor's Office for their CSI unit. Prior to his interest in police work, Christian was an assistant teacher for several years, which shows his concern for the positive growth of the youth that he has encountered, which is a great ability to have in a town like ours. We certainly promote interaction with the youth in town here. The youth is our future, so he'll do great with that. He graduated from Montclair University, and he has swam for them as he's been a competitive swimmer most of his life. I think he started at 8 years old. Yeah, you are. So we got a lot of fit guys, which I used to be fit when I first started, but that was quite some time ago. He's supported here tonight by his family and friends, especially his parents, Elizabeth and Eric, stepmom Corinne, I think I said that correctly, grandmother Joan, his girlfriend, and other family members, so I don't have everybody's name. Again, thank you, family, for letting us have him. We will take good care of him. Came to our department at a great time. Again, it's our anniversary. It's a 100-year anniversary, which I'm big into history, and I found out what the date was, so I'm very big on that. We have a lot of other exciting things to come this year because of that, but I'm not going to say what they are right now. But you guys have, come to the Memorial Day parade, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Again, thank you for your support of our new officers. They're going to be a great asset for us. Again, we've seen numerous guys and girls that have applied, and we narrowed it down to these three, and top of the top we got. So, again, appreciate it. Thank you for your support tonight, and congratulations, guys. Appreciate it.
Well, Midge, and it's my fault. Township Committee would like to say a few words to each of you. Mr. Chris?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, thank you, all of you, so much for coming tonight. It's nice to see this room so full of people, and you see representatives all over of all of our first responders, and that's a great sight to see. As you all know, if you know me by now, since I started in this position, I've always said that public safety is job number one in this town. And we certainly have a lot to celebrate and a lot to recognize tonight. First, for our EMS week, thank you. We can't thank you enough, the job that you do. I've had the privilege and the fortune of seeing what you do firsthand. I've actually had the privilege and fortune to see what all of our first responders do firsthand. And what you really do every day, and the customer service you provide our residents is second to none. And I really do appreciate it. We appreciate it. I'd also like to point out that for our volunteers, not only thank you to the volunteers, but thank you to our volunteers' family, who has allowed us to borrow them for quite some time to do this service, to do this work, to do that so important. And finally, to our 3 new officers, congratulations, welcome to the family, and you'll do us proud, I know. Thank you very much.
So, as chair of the Public Safety Committee in town, I was able to sit in on the interviews for these 3 wonderful additions to Springfield, and I'm going to kind of run down. I like to try and make sure these interviews last at least 25, 30 minutes. You know, just get a flavor for the person, and I kind of want to go down the list. So I want to start with you, Officer Houston. Remarkable. Smart as a whip, knew the job, knew exactly why he wanted to be a police officer, and I had to come up with 26 minutes and 41 seconds of filler. So we really look forward to you coming into the Springfield Police Department. Officer Crigliano, I asked one question, and you'll say yes or no if it's true or false. I said, will Coach Martin have good things to say about you? And his answer was, God, I hope so. He did have good things to say about you. Welcome, and we look forward to having you. Officer Muehlheisen, one thing that stuck out to me about you was if you could police all of the drunk people every summer in Point Pleasant, I believe you will fit in tremendously here in Springfield. So welcome, and we look forward to the patience that you exhibited in Point Pleasant here in Springfield. They are 3 tremendous additions to our public safety family, and it was, sitting in on this interview process was by far one of the most rewarding parts of my time on this dais. And, you know, you guys, all 3 of you guys are absolute credits to our community. So thank you.
And that's not to say that we're full of drunk people in Springfield. It's just that he has a lot of patience dealing with drunk people. So just wanted to add that.
Congratulations to all, and especially to your families. It's always remarkable to see them, because it's at their moment in time the proudest as you get sworn in. So thank you for lending your family members to us to keep us safe every single day. I know you'll do a remarkable job, and very proud to get the staffing of our police department to the highest level it's ever been as we celebrate 100 years. So thank you to everybody, and congratulations.
And thank you for the honor of letting me swear you in. It was an honor for me. I've been here 50-some-odd years in town, and the town's really happy because I'm around all the time now. I'm retired, and they love to see me walking in town hall. But you'll see me around, but congratulations. And now go have a party somewhere. Enjoy. 5 minutes. We'll have 5 minutes. Oh, they heard it.
I was kidding.
Oh, okay. Mike, you're put at the end of the meeting now. Look at the tan he has all that. He doesn't work. Okay. Thank you all for coming. All right. This meeting is called back to order. Springfield Community Partnership budget. Dis- Discussion of the budget. Public hearing. Motion,
The discussion.
first I need public comment on agenda items only. If you have, anybody from the public want to
No,
speak?
no, we're doing this. We're doing the budget.
Yeah, but this, I gotta do. You want this first? Yeah, this is first. Okay.
They'll do their presentation.
They're setting up now.
You ready? Bring that over.
Once their presentation is over,
Yeah, oh, then,
then we'll do a motion for public hearing on the budget.
okay, on the budget. Good, that over.
Yeah, it's very expensive. You gotta be kidding.
Jeez.
Mazel tov.
He broke that, it's coming out of your budget. He has a budget.
You guys got to approve an additional budget then.
Yeah.
Yeah, too much.
Turn it off.
Hey, wait a minute, you're not turning that down.
I'll do the scroll. It's all right. I started.
Go ahead with your budget.
All right. This all started when I was 12 years old. No, I'm only joking.
Mike?
We'll be quick.
Can you just wait a minute?
Okay.
Let the record show,
I just wanted to know
Chris Weber
that,
just got here.
Weber is here.
Thank you, Chris. All right.
I thought you said you did.
Can't win them all. Okay. Thank you for coming over after. Okay. Yes.
Ready? Again, good afternoon, evening, everybody. I want to thank you again for letting us do our fabulous budget. A lot of things have changed over the past 2 years. We've definitely did a lot of concentrating, resetting the button on what the budgets look like for the bid. We've made a lot of changes, but we think the changes that were made internally the businesses are definitely going to benefit, but more excitingly is that the residents are going to see what the bid is all about. I mean, right now we have our branding of the bid. We're rechanging the branding, or redoing the website, and people don't really go on websites that much. But we're changing the way the website's being done. We're designing it as the gateway to Springfield. You're going to see a tremendous progress and excitement of the website, where everybody can go to and see what. I'll give you an example. We have VReal, which is a new marketing company that we have worked with. They're fantastic. They're boots on the ground. They've already visited about 30 businesses, introduced themselves. But what's really exciting is that they have what's called the Marketplace. So the Marketplace is a place for residents to go to and see what's happening in Springfield on a daily basis from a business perspective. So right now, when you go to a business, you may get a coupon that's in the paper, or you may see a special for that day when you go into the business. The Marketplace is going to change that. You're going to be able to see on the Marketplace what's happening on a daily basis in town with special offers, what's happening from a business. So it's going to be driving people to go on a daily basis to see what's happening so they can get discounts and specials going on. What also we've done with it, it's called the rewards program. Just like you'd have your American Express card, the more you utilize the Marketplace and the more you use the discounts, which is done through the Marketplace, you get rewards points. So every month, we were going to give away gift certificates to local businesses for the top 3 people, and we're figuring this out right now, who have utilized the Marketplace the most. So it's an incentive, it's a game. that's being utilized. So again, we've hired this new marketing company. They're fantastic to work with. They're getting to know the businesses. They're actually going to see them, and we've done it for half the cost what normally we were paying. So this goes to the budget and everything. We've also hired the Gruskin Group. We've also interviewed with other companies in regard to changing our website. So it's just not going to be your normal website. It's going to have the marketplace on the website. We're going to work with the schools. We're going to work with all the businesses in town in regards to getting places for the residents to go to, events, what's happening in Springfield. We've had a lot of residents come to us and go, what's going on in Springfield? You guys should start a calendar. We're working on that, on how to develop a calendar in regards to that. We want this the place to go to for all the residents to come to and see what's happening specifically in Springfield. So also with that, what's happening, and a lot of people don't know, is that we no longer have the Springfield Patriot Chamber of Commerce. We've made a decision to move forward with it. It just wasn't working for the local businesses to join. So we became members individually of the Gateway Chamber of Commerce. It's a regional chamber. So how is that different from a local chamber? So right now you have the Westfield Chamber, you have the Union Chamber, you have Maplewood Chamber. They're individually chambers, what's going on in town. This is a regional chamber. It's almost like a Union County Chamber of Commerce. So as we became, me and Jay are now on the board of the Gateway Chamber of Commerce. We're going to show value why businesses want to become members of the Gateway Chamber of Commerce. So it's a tremendous time for us. And again, it's all about networking. I mean, we talk about on a daily basis, look what we just did today. We're unifying everybody, all the police officers, what's happening in Springfield. We have a great town. I talk to other towns, they're larger than us. But they really, when I talk to them about what we do, what Jay, Scott, and I do for the businesses in town and building the relationships is the key. You can't drive business or people want to come to you unless you build relationships. And that's what our strength is. And we do it honestly. So people see our value, and that's what brings them to the Gateway Chamber, but more importantly, the Business Improvement District. So I can't say we're so excited because it's a new way. Like I said, we're doing a reset on what it should be. And we all should do a reset on what's happening within our towns, within our schools, because things change so quickly. And if you don't keep up with the times, you're going to fall behind. So we're being very proactive on what's going on with this, and there's more to come. We haven't finalized everything. We have a lot of things being worked on behind the scenes. I would say it's going to take us about another 2-3 months to finally get all these things together, where now it's a one-stop place for everything for Springfield. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Jay Spinelli, my executive director. And I have to thank Jay again. He's been outstanding. He's got me very motivated. Not that I'm not motivated, but it's exciting to get out there and revisit everybody. And again, it's not only the businesses, it's the residents that we want to be involved with. So thank you. Also, just the flower pots. We also did the ones in front of TD and a couple other locations. We even cut the cost on that in half. So again, it's relooking at the budget, which is what we're going to go into, on ways that we can save money, but be more proactive in regards to what we do. So,
Okay.
Jay?
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Chairman. And thank you for the committee for having us today. I'm the boring guy. I'm the one that talks about the numbers. So if you look up at the top, you'll see on the right-hand side, it's 2024, and on the left-hand side will be 2025. Our bid assessment was $292,652.58. Okay, about the same as we had the year before. The interest we had was $9,819.55, considerably more than we had the year before. Okay, obviously because we saw interest rates were rising, so that's where they stood. The unexpended funds was $332,111.43. Our total was $583,056. Are there any questions on that slide so far? Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Did you guys switch banking, or what sparked the large interest rate?
No, that was just because interest rates went up.
Sounds good. Keep
Yeah.
going.
Okay, expenditures. Administrative service, that would be me. We went from executive director, 70,000 the year before, to 80,000 was voted on for the year of 2025. Any questions on that? No? Okay. Professional services, we have accountants, CPAs. Again, that didn't change for $4,500. Consultants went dramatically lower to $5,000. Okay, we decided that we didn't need to have the heavy consultant that we needed to have. We had dropped that, so that was something that helped the budget out heavily. But we did use it in other places where we thought it would be more useful for the small businesses in this town. Any questions on that? Again, as we go along, if we need to, we can always have. Okay. Office operations, the insurance didn't change, stayed at 5,000. Telephone stayed at 300. Office miscellaneous was 4,500, also stayed the same. And dues and subscriptions was 500. Nothing changed on this one, equaling a total of $10,800. Visual improvements. Okay, we had maintenance on it, was 15,000 the year before, 18,000 this year. They went up just a little bit more. The streetscape, we've kept that amount the same as it was the years before, preparing for projects that are coming up. We do know that the park is something that has been spoken about, so we are anticipating some form of the money being utilized at some point. If need be, we're always willing to go out and talk about bondage. Debt services stayed at $80,000. That's just us paying off the old debt that we've had so far for the past few years. And contract services went up to $72,900. That's where that extra money was utilized this year. That's where we used the money to pay for the marketing company and bring V-Real into the program. It's a one-time payment that needed to be utilized, so we're using it this year. We did use it, and it's done. You won't see that again next year. So now that we have that set up, the marketplace will be utilized to allow residents to be able to go online and be able to see exactly what Mike was talking about.
When does this go live?
It's actually live as we speak. We have not pushed it out yet because we're still fixing the website, which is the channel to bring you into. Once we want to make everything nice and smooth.
So your website is not where you want it.
Correct.
The service V-Real is live.
Yeah, and I'd like it. The company is called V-Real, but I would really like to stay with the Springfield Marketplace because that's what it is.
Okay.
It is the Springfield Marketplace. It's where people from Springfield can go and see the businesses that are giving out deals and be able to get rewards. And there's literally a competition. You can see every single month who's the top performer on purchases and who's the top business that's performing as well. We will be giving we'll be giving prizes out for that as time goes on. Okay.
So just to add on to that, what's really strong about this company is their analytics. They can see exactly what the businesses are bringing in every time somebody comes. Previously, the company that we had no idea. There was no analytics or anything. They actually did a market research on the company that we had over the past 5 years and showed us what they were doing in regards to return on investment and lack of return on investment. They're actually very analytical, but very market driven. So it's interesting to see dealing with a company like that. It's that we can see exactly how it's being performed and how the businesses are benefiting from a monetary standpoint for the return on investment.
And I'll also add, I'll also add the fact that when we do this, you will actually see the dollars that are brought back into the township. So again, they're going to show us exactly how much money the residents are continuing to keep within the township, which will be a great thing for us to bring to the committee so you guys can put that announcement out to the public on a constant basis. Promotional and marketing, this is where you're going to see the big changes. Meeting expenses, we didn't have to have that any longer, so we took that out. E-commerce, also didn't have to have that, so we took that out. Advertising, didn't have to have it at that expense, so we took that out as well. Marketing program, as you can see, that was where we were paying $60,000 a year for it. We've now dropped that dramatically to $41,500. Public events we kept at $1,500 because we still do things with the township. We want to make sure we're doing that again. It was a dramatic drop though from the year before. Music festival $500, again a dramatic drop.
Why?
Say again?
Why?
Why was it done? Because we actually are looking to do different things.
Did you not do a music, like, are you not planning on doing a music festival?
We're doing it in a different way. We're going to be doing it with the car show possibly. That's why we'll be adding it to that. So we'll have, instead of having the money going toward just a music festival, we'll be having it with the car show, which we're trying to do on a quarterly basis.
Okay.
Which the public information officer is working on, so I'll have to speak to them about that and let them know. Printing stayed at 500 instead of 7,500. Again, dramatic drop. As you can see, we went from 120,000 to 44,000.
Let me interject on that.
Please.
Really quick, with the printing end of it, if you see the difference in the number, we were printing up coupon booklets. And V-Reels, like, you guys don't need to do that. What you do, once we get it on the website and the marketplace, we'll be able, the town people, the residents, can see all the coupons right on the marketplace. So there won't be printing costs, coupon booklets. Again, they're very proactive and in tune to what the market is dictating. So that was a savings on that.
I have a question, if you don't mind.
Please.
Can you just go back one slide?
Absolutely.
Now, again, I'm just looking from the outside in.
Yeah.
So, explain this to me. Now,
Yes.
I would think that our promotional marketing is just as a layman, just our bread and butter, how we want to reach to our community. I understand the cut in printing, maybe nobody reads anything, you want to put it on.
Sure.
Internet or whatnot, but like, all those other promotions going, not even being less, just being zero, what is replacing all of that?
So that's why we have, the marketing company is actually taking that on. Instead of us doing the marketing ourselves, we have the marketing company taking care of that.
How are they doing, what things are they doing to replace the e-commerce and the advertising and the marketing programming that we're cutting down?
So they are actually doing it on a social media standpoint, where it's social media. They're going to be promoting more and more on social media. They're going to be promoting with the Patriot as well. So they're doing the advertising. We've put it into that section instead of having it on this section.
They have proven that that's be more effective than what we're doing now?
Yes. And again, if it's not, we can always alter that. No, that's a good
I
question.
believe you. I'm just trying to understand, like, because that, when I see that, it looks like, oh, we're going from all this money to zero. Aren't we supposed to be?
Absolutely.
get you.
And it's just shifted. But again, and you're absolutely right. If something needs to be shifted back, we can do that as well.
right.
Absolutely. No, good
Fair
question.
enough.
Yeah,
Thank
they're
you.
being
Thank
very efficient in regards to way to do business today. What's amazing about them is that, again, they're very proactive in technology, in ways to market now. What has happened is that the other marketing company that we had, it was $61,000 that we were paying. We were overpaying, and they weren't even producing.
Yeah, but
So-
I mean, you cut your marketing program at 61,000,
Right.
right? But your budget went up 50,000.
Yes.
So meanwhile, you've cut printing, you've cut this, you've cut that, you've cut all these things, and I'm not questioning any of it. Explain to me where the $50,000 comes from.
So everything that we've had, the more that we've had is more toward, again, we have it, sorry about that. Streetscape, et cetera, was something that we stayed the same at, and that's what something that was keeping us heavy, as well as if you look at the contract services right there. So the contract
Yeah,
services.
but that's a one-time fee. So next year, when you come to me, that's gonna go from $72,900 back down to 20,000?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Please.
I'm gonna go off track. The
Go ahead.
debt service, how many more years do we have on the debt service?
So that's something I would have to look into. I don't have the exact number on me, but I'll find that out for you. I will. Yeah,
Diane.
but I know that's coming up as well. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's coming up pretty quick. Okay, thank you.
And that's a really good point, for the reason being, if we're going to do more streetscape, we're looking at the debt services that we have taken on right now, and we will be talking with you in regards to creating a bond if we need an additional debt service. So it's open for discussion. Right now, we're just discussing it and everything, so.
So what is so I mean, last year, and there was a very distinct reason for that executive director transition, where we didn't touch the streetscape.
Right.
Are we planning on touching the streetscape this coming year?
Well, that was the conversation again with the park, if that's coming around, because
Okay.
again, that has to do with, also, as you can tell, we're talking about small businesses that are coming in. I literally just got a picture from the ice cream parlor. She's June 1st looking at, and again, that area right there is primed for something to be changed up and made into a new streetscape. I would feel, but again,
No,
it's up to the committee to make that
I'm
decision.
just, but I mean, I guess I realized that last year we had a very measured and calculated reason why we did not touch the streetscape.
Correct.
What I'm saying is, and the question that I'm asking is, if all things go well, we plan on making a further dent into the streetscaping this year. Yes or no?
Well, again, we have to re-get the engineers out there, reconstruct a plan because the pricing has changed.
Sure.
From when we did it about 3-4 years ago. And that's really the issue. The bottom line, if we were to redo the plan, the same plan that we did 4 years ago, it may cost $500,000.
Sure.
And we have 235.
Understood.
So,
But to answer the question,
I
again,
mean,
that's
so-
going to
but-
benefit the small businesses, so yes.
Understood, but if all things being equal, and I'm not trying to like be whatever, but all things being equal, we plan on going back to our streetscape project this year. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes. And again, we've been very thankful for the Township Committee and everybody involved. That's been very helpful with us getting to know some of the small businesses on Morris Ave as well. We know Morris Ave for some time has been an eyesore for a lot of people. And now that we're working with the Township administration and everyone involved, we plan on pushing Morris Avenue to become an area where people will want to go and visit. So having Mountain and Morris be the center of town is the direct goal for all of us right now.
We've been trying it for 60 years.
I mean, hey, eventually we're going to get there, right? No, honestly though, we have made some good strides, and I would actually like to thank the business administrator because he's been pulling in a lot of the landlords in to talk to them, and that collaboration I think is what was missing a few years ago. Because again, the numbers could be here and we could be spending money on things, but if it's not the people behind it and the actions that we're taking, nothing matters. Flowers are great, buildings that look nice, buildings that people can go into, businesses that people will go into, like an ice cream parlor or a boba place or a nice breakfast place. These are their coffee shop that we've been speaking. These are the things that this town and its residents deserve. And that's what we're going to plan on doing, and that's what we aim to do.
Okay. I just have a few things I want to, are you guys done yet with the presentation?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay. Just making a note, hold on, sorry. All right. Coupon books. Mike, those coupon books sat in the back of my car for I can't tell you how many years. I intended to use them every time. Getting rid of those coupon books is the best thing you could have done. Okay? I would even try to take 2 or 3 to put them in every car, and at the end of the year, when I just do a purge on my car, that book went in the garbage, right into recycling. Best thing you could have done. That's number one. Number two, the park. Listen, it's been no surprise that we've held off on this no matter how much people complain or a few people have complained about it. There is no sense in doing the work twice. You and I had a long talk about it a while ago. Hold off. We have saved the money for, I think we started talking about this 3 or 4 years ago, maybe longer, all right? But we saved the money. We finally got it. John's got a survey going in for the park shortly, which will streetscape this entire thing. This will tie in fabulously. Mike, Jay, Scott. I wish Scott was here. I talk to you guys almost all the time, right? Especially Jay. There's times like that. Silence the phone. But that's what we were looking for, all right? We were looking for full-blown communication and an idea of what's going on. As somebody who sits up here for the Township of Springfield, I cannot be happier with what you guys are doing and what you're accomplishing right now with the Township. You're crushing it, and I appreciate it, and I got to tell you, I know the residents do, because they see it, because they see what's going on. I've talked to business owners. The business owners have never had so much interaction before with both you and Jay, and it's just a win on all events. So I'm excited to see what's going on with it, and thank you guys for making
Thank
this
you.
come
We thank
together.
you all.
Thank you. You know what, I really appreciate the compliment, but what's different now is the energy level has completely changed.
Oh,
Sorry.
his energy level's at a different level.
So the energy level is, and it's very proactive, which
But
is,
isn't that what you need sometimes? It's,
Absolutely.
It's what you need, and the fact of the matter is, from my perspective, the small change that we had, because there really wasn't a big change in the bid. We had just a very small change, made a full 180 And I see it in you. Your energy's at a different level right now. And you've been the bid for how long?
12 years?
12 years. Like you've been reinvented.
Yeah.
And, yeah, you know, so, thank you. Great, great, great work. Thank
We
you.
appreciate the cooperation again from the Township Committee and the administration, so thank you all.
Just stay around in case there's any public comment. Please.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I move to open the public hearing on the Springfield Community Partnership budget.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Public comment on the budget only. Please state your name and your address.
My name is Drew Stern, 5 Berkeley Road. Chris beat me to it. Hiring this gentleman, Jay Spinelli, has been nothing but a blessing to this town. I have been in this town, and Mike does a wonderful job. I have been in this town for over 30 years, and I'm not going to tell my age like you don't. And when I used to walk up Mountain Avenue, it was a Bagel Supreme and a shop that sold obscene magazines. I couldn't even let my little kids in. Now, it's so much different. His energy level is unbelievable. All the new stores, and it's unbelievable.
Yes.
As Chris said, he's turned this completely around. Morris Avenue is wonderful. Mountain Avenue is wonderful. The citizens of this community really, really appreciate it. And the town is starting to look magnificent. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, Mayor, I just want to add one more thing, Mayor. And this doesn't affect, and this isn't for anybody in here, but this is for the public in general on, you know, the forums and so on. There's going to be multiple bagel spots. There's going to be multiple pizza spots. There's going to be multiple Chinese spots. Just businesses in general. There's going to be some on Morris Ave. There's going to be some on Mountain. I really ask that you refrain from targeting any of them because one spot is a favorite one to another or whatever. If you want this town to succeed, all these businesses have to succeed. And you know, Bagel Supreme was the only game in business for a long time, right? Another one came on Morris Avenue. We had a little bit of a run-in with some of them for a while. Everybody's existing, everybody's making money, and everybody's happy that we have 2 spots now in town. So my request to the residents is, if you want all this to work,
Give it a chance.
give it a chance. Yeah, thank you.
I agree with you, Chris. All right.
Hi, Diane Sherry, Finance Officer. Before you pass the budget, I just noticed there's an error, so I don't know what the process is to amend it before you adopt it. There is a $16.10 error between the revenues and your expenses. So I don't know what the process for the bid is to change that before you do it, because you don't want to adopt a document that's incorrect. That's all. Thanks, bye.
All right, thank you. You can give your address. Tim, 1 second.
We're plus or we're minus $16?
Either way, the difference is $16.10 between your revenues and your.
Okay. I can always double check.
Wherever you want to.
Good to put it on hold.
The revenues exceed the total expenses, anticipated expenses for the year in that amount. So if that's the case, you want to allocate that to one of these line items. The committee can seek to adopt it as amended, but we need to do that now. So you want to figure out what the number is, then you can pick a line.
So we're going to pay Jay $16.10 less. Is what
Awesome. Let's do it,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
There's Scott.
Oh, there's Scott. Scott, thank you. Fantastic job. I didn't see you sneak in there.
We probably can do it on the telephone, to be honest with you.
$16 on the telephone?
Yeah.
Okay, so your new telephone bill is $284.
What would the new number be for the telephone?
It'll be $283.90. adding.
You're adding?
No, they're subtracting.
Subtracting or adding?
360.
360.
Yeah, you're taking away. It's
away.
$283.90 is the new phone bill.
283.90. See, phone bill? That's 300, 283. It means you can't call Vermont that much, that's all. Really? All right? Amend that though, so we have no problem. Please.
Make a note of that, we should pull that resolution, when it's time to vote on that
Yeah, we'll pull it.
Okay. Anybody else from the public?
Yep.
Evening, everyone. Jeff Chait, 47 Shelley. A while back, there was talk about Starbucks coming to town at a
We're
meeting.
just talking about the public,
No, this.
Well, it was about this,
okay?
right? Correct? So a while back, there was
I can-
mention of Starbucks
I
coming to
can
town.
answer that. 'cause-
Let him ask, let him
And,
ask his
Chick-fil-A?
question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, let-
Yeah, my
thought that was
question
the
was,
question.
a while back, there was question, that there was interest in Starbucks coming to town, and a while back Chick-fil-A. Any update on the Starbucks?
Starbucks, I met with Starbucks. We took them all around town. They could not find a site that met what they required. Couldn't find a spot that was big enough. They needed a minimum of 1 acre, and they needed to be a level lot. They were very particular. You know, and I said to them, I said, well, how about not having a drive-through? Because that was their big thing. I said, you know, there are other locations. I go to the one in Sterling. They got couches. You can go in and sit down, Wi-Fi. They said the new CEO nixed them. No more. Got to have a drive-through. So we were not able to come.
Any other big name brands looking to come to town, or is outreach?
I have not had anything from anyone, you know, other than small. Jay and I have been working, trying to fill some of the downtown. We're just waiting for Gomes actually to get to a point where we can look at those stores on the first floor. So I know we've contacted some smaller coffee companies kind of thing, but nothing concrete yet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Other than what's going on, redevelopment, and John, we've been working with John, we are now meeting with the property owners, which is what we didn't do before. The property owners whose buildings have not been very well kept, we've been meeting with them and now talking to them and saying, here's what's happening with your building. And here's what needs to be done to your building to get it up to grade. If you can't, we would like to know, maybe you'd be interested in possibly selling the building. So we're being very proactive on the redevelopment end. Jay and I have been talking to redevelopers that are interested in getting into Springfield. There are certain locations that we've been talking, I won't mention them now, but maybe a possibility of selling their building and getting the redevelopers in there. So on the other end of it, we're being very proactive in downtown Morris Avenue. And thanks to John and his team, we're working behind the scenes to make sure it's a reality. I mean, we said it hasn't been done in 40 years, 50 years, because nothing's been done. So now we're taking a very proactive approach of doing nothing is not is an issue. So we're being very proactive right now. And again, thank you, John, for
And
all
let me
you've done.
just add to that, this is the committee that we put together where we have our zoning officer, engineering, myself, the bid. We sit down with the business owners and then we go through this. They have any violations or anything that needs to be fixed, painted, that type of thing. If not, we go on and say, if you're at a point where you no longer are interested in the business, are you interested in selling? We try to hook them up with a developer to see if there's something we can work out.
Correct, and I think the goal is to go down the line on Morris Avenue and approach every property owner because they probably haven't been approached in 10 to 15, 20 years. So we're being very aggressive or proactive in regards to making redevelopment a reality. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Do I have to move to close public comment?
Yes.
Move to close public comment.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Resolution 6.
No.
Oh, that's, all right. Next, public comment on agenda items only. Anybody from the public? Seeing none, close it for the public. Reports, administration report.
All right, touch on a few things if I may. PSE&G is currently working on Linden Ave between Wabeno and Morris. Afterwards, are scheduled to begin on the lower half of Linden between Wabeno and Owasso. Residents can expect detours during this construction period. We've got another bigger project that's going to start with PSE&G on May 19th. They're going to start working on Morris Avenue from Milburn Ave to Alvin Terrace. At that time, all work will be done from 8 o'clock at night to 5 o'clock in the morning. This work is going to take place actually on the side of the road by the gutters, so it won't be in the middle of the street. You'll still have two-way traffic throughout the road. They're talking about 3 months in order to get this done. Traffic control will be handled by their subcontractor along with our PD department, and they will provide us with weekly updates on the project. Our new sweeper has just arrived. We're training our operators on the new equipment, and the old street sweeper will go up for auction along with other items that we no longer either use or have just become past their useful life. The Rotary Food Truck Festival is going to be in the pool parking lot on Sunday, the 18th. Traffic control boxes, I think everybody has seen them. Our traffic control boxes are covered with stickers. They're pretty beat up. DPW went out today actually and scraped down, I think, 3 or 4 of them. And the reason we did that is that we looked at wrapping them. We spoke to the guy that wraps them. We still have to scrape them. We have to paint them, and then he comes out and wraps them. So on top of our labor, we're $2,500 a box for him to wrap them. If somebody starts putting stickers on them, now they're on the wrap. So we said, you know what? Let's try the paint. So we're going to paint them and see how they turn out. We ought to paint them anyhow. So if we decide after the fact that they need to be wrapped, we've not wasted anything. I think it's a better way. If it works and we get 2-3 years out of it, we got to paint them again, so be it. It's better than spending 20 grand on wrap and we end up with a problem with it. No guarantee that the wrap will stay or it sticks, or so we're not thrilled with kind of what the feedback is we got from the wrapping company.
I would ask that the public refrains from putting stickers and stuff on the boxes
It would be
once they're
nice.
done.
Has anybody thought of a different alternative? I mean, what's the color of paint?
Right now, I
Maybe
think
that
we're just,
green
yeah,
again?
we're trying the green just to see how it covers.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that gives way to, that green just seems like industrialized and not homey enough that maybe people like just, it's like seeing a telephone pole. They just don't see it as their own or don't see it as something nicer. I don't know. I go through Milburn and I think there's a wrapped and I don't see the stickers.
I was just about to say the same.
I don't see the stickers. The green just lends it to that. It's this industrialized, state-owned property that no one cares about. When you maybe change up the color scheme and/or wrap it, I would hope that people would take a little more better care. If that's my point that I'm trying to get across.
I gotta tell you, let's talk about it, because if we wanna, if we're in agreement to, pay for wrapping, I'll change my mind on painting it.
We still got to paint them.
We still got to do the labor,
Right.
but I mean,
I don't disagree with anything you just.
No, I don't know. I think, to me, I think we all do green because it tries to blend in and off of highways that might make sense and some
We
of
can
our more
certainly
industrial.
change the color.
I'm just wondering if we could change the color and just see if that works.
We haven't done
a
them
little
yet,
bit.
so yes.
Yeah, I mean, echoing what Alex said, I mean, I actually had a resident talk to me about like painting like much more homier designs on those boxes. So if that's something that we could look into that doesn't cost an arm and a leg.
School project? I mean.
It could be, I mean.
Senior community service hours, I think they all have to do 40 hours a year or something like that?
more than just your generic big green box with a silver handle.
Maybe somebody.
Yeah, art classes do murals, right?
There's definitely honors level art students. We don't want you don't want me going out there and painting, but the honors level art students.
You bring up a good point, because I would tell you that I would hope that the public in general would look at a hand-painted box or something like that with care and say, let me not put an election sticker on there or anything on there because, they know the children that painted it or whatever project it was.
I would hope that, and I think it would work. I do think, in some, like if you're talking about one off of Route 22, no, that you're getting whoever just wants to get their advertisement up there. But ones that are like generally in the community that I'm thinking of by our temples that are just around town in walking neighborhoods, I think if it seems that there's some care and some thought that it wasn't just industrialized spray paint sprayed on there, I do think it gives them pause just enough that they might not throw a sticker. But what do I know? That's just my thoughts.
I don't disagree. I think we should.
Well, I will tell DPW, don't paint them because we were starting tomorrow. So I'll stop them.
What are they going to be? They're going to be in just raw metal?
We had to scrape all the stickers off.
Okay, but they're in raw metal
They're
right
a
now?
mess. Now you've got all spots where they're bare metal on some spots. Not the entire box, just where we had to clean them up.
All right, so what do you guys want to do? You guys want to look at having them wrapped?
I mean, we could, I mean,
I don't want to have them wrapped right now. I wouldn't because you put something on there, then the wrap, you gotta do,
you gotta rewrap it.
again.
I think
Think about a color.
What? Mayor, with all respectfulness, that's exactly what we're talking about, is that the hope would be to paint and/or wrap to discourage individuals from potentially giving second thought and sticking a sticker. We're trying to, you paint that green, I'm telling you, next week somebody's slapping a sticker on there. And then you're gonna be back out there scraping it again. So if we want to continue doing the same thing and not trying something different, by all means, let's go paint it green. What we're trying to get to is trying to beautify the community, trying to get away from that industrialized view. A number of other communities around us do this. So if you're telling me, and if somebody in this town is telling me that the other towns are just magical and the Springfield residents are different, I disagree. Yes.
You got to come to the mic. We can't hear you. Audience can't hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. So if you do decide to wrap them, I can tell you right now that we did speak to some of the companies about it, and there is some way, the actual product that's utilized will deter because you can't spray paint on it and you can't put a stick on it. It won't stay. So that is something that you can look at when you're utilizing the wrap itself. Now, again, I'm not saying the wrap or paint, whichever one, not one is better than the other. Maybe you do some wrap, and maybe you do some paint. Maybe you get some of the kids to do some of the wrapping, some of the painting. But I will tell you this, if you do decide to do a wrap that's a design other than the generic, the price does increase.
You have an idea of what it was?
I'll tell you, you're looking at about 24 for a regular, 2,400 per box.
For a single color?
No, for a design. For a design wrap, you're looking at 2,400 per box.
And we still have to paint them before that.
Yeah, you do have to put something on it beforehand. So again, I'm just giving you the information.
So John? Can I make a suggestion? Can I suggest that we just hold off on the painting and talk about this offline?
I was just gonna say, why don't we just take a beat?
That's fine.
I mean, yes, I believe in this initiative, but I don't think we have to particularly solve this initiative tonight. Can we talk about this?
They can sit like they are.
Pause.
Yeah, we'll leave them like they are. It's no problem.
Scraping them and get them clean.
I think we got 6 or 8 of them already scraped.
Yeah, hold on a second, guys. I'm not kicking this down the road either. These boxes look like absolute hell. I'm sitting at a light on Milltown and Mizell, and I'm looking at a box that looks like it's just been destroyed. This is not a hard thing where it's just like, hey, listen, do we want to look at doing them or not look at doing them? That's what we're here for.
I've joined you for years in beating this chorus that we've looked to look at this. I don't know why it's this hard. I will be quite frank. I am unsure why it's this hard. I think we need to make a decision. I don't think it's that hard. I'm for trying to explore wrapping them. Enough is enough.
Go wrap one. Get one done, and this way you won't start banging.
I don't know if we can wrap one. We'll have to ask.
Wrap one and
I've been asking for this for years.
Yeah, this has been something that's been 3 years, I think we've been talking about this.
Yeah. All right. Enough is enough.
All right, let's go on.
I'm not done.
Yeah, he's not done with his report.
Mizell Field, the no parking signs were installed on either side of the driveway, helping the site triangle where the exiting Mizell Field driveway is. That sign was added to an existing ordinance in order to enforce, so that's done. You were talking about Oakland Park. We've got the surveyor is gonna be out either this week or next week to pin that, so we know exactly where our boundary lines are on that before we can go any further. We did apply for a grant. The end of the month, we should know what amount of money, if any, we are receiving on that.
Where's the grant from? Is it
County.
County, okay. So we'll get something.
We,
It's not like a zero or.
we should.
Okay, yeah.
We have another meeting with Gomes on the 21st. They're making progress, but again, you know, it's interesting. If you look at Patriot Way, they're flying, and yet we still don't have the pavers done on Morris Avenue there. So we're there all the time, but it's just very difficult. We are revisiting all the businesses that we already spoke to about fixing their buildings up, and we're contacting some others to do the next phase, but we're gonna bring the ones in that we've already spoken to, just to get an update, see where we are, why things haven't been completed that should have been. So we will fill you in on that as we go. Bulk pickup is Wednesday, June 11th. Have your items at the curb, June 8th or 9th. Townwide garage sale is Saturday, June 7th, and Sunday, June 8th. Register on the township website. And I think that's all I have for the moment.
Can you call the county and find out why the aerator's not working on Mizell Pond again?
It's already being, they're going to be there they're gonna be there this week.
Guaranteed?
That's what I heard from the county. I'm not guaranteeing it because I don't work for the county, but I alerted them that the aerator is not working. They will have a crew there this week to repair it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So just to be clear, do we want to try wrapping one of those boxes in something that we can get?
Why don't we, how many, I don't have any info. Why, how about this? How about for the next meeting, we get a count of how many boxes, the locations of where they are, how much it is for a solid color versus a design, and then we can make a informed decision. How about that?
Yeah, my take on the boxes is that the ones that I've seen going around town is the Milltown boxes are hammered, the Hillside boxes are hammered. The other boxes where there's just slight foot traffic or so on, no one's stopping to pick on those boxes.
Mountain Avenue as well. Mountain Avenue as well.
Mountain Avenue. The main corridors are the ones that I think that we need to focus on, because, you know, the one by Chisholm, I think, which was replaced, still looks good.
Have it run over.
So since these boxes need to be painted anyway, why don't we get the information that Alex requested? Meanwhile, let's start this process. If we have to go back and paint because there's a sticker, it's one box instead of 9. But like, meanwhile, let's walk and chew gum at the same time.
I can tell you that there are 12 interior boxes not on the highways, not on Morris Avenue.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll get you the location.
So like, let's walk and chew gum at the same time is my vote. Let's
Six
do
of
it.
them have already been cleaned. It's $1,600 for each box for the solid color.
Okay.
24 for design.
Okay.
I think I think that if it's something that is going to, I'm going to assume we're getting a 5 or 10 year guarantee on this thing.
I don't know, Jay. Do you know what the guarantee is on those?
Off the top of my head, it was a 5 to 10, but again, we would definitely have to get that from the person who's putting them up. They would do
So when you look at, you know, $800 in the scheme of things.
But before they get wrapped, they have to be painted.
They have to be cleaned and
So
painted.
then let's get the information and start painting.
Most of them say to just keep it a plain black or something of that nature.
Fine,
It's easiest to
but like, let's start painting and let's get the information so we have a decision for next meeting.
Yeah, this is not that hard.
Okay.
But if I don't have information by next meeting to make an informed decision on that, I'm going to be very upset. Start painting, but if I don't have the information to vote on next meeting, I'll be livid.
All right, We know how many there are, I'll get you the locations. And you got the pricing. We know it's 16 and 24.
proceed then.
Is there, Jay, is there a way to get us some samples of what's around, please, so we have something to look at?
Absolutely. So we can get some samples of what the wraps would be like, and so you could feel them and see what they are. Yes.
I've seen that Cranford has like some floral wraps and stuff like that.
That's the
and
number one
there's-
thing that people usually go with are the florals.
Milburn has student design.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
know why.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not going to beat the dead horse.
But we can have that by definitely by next meeting, probably by the end of next week.
Thank you.
The sooner the better.
Okay, minutes. Regular and executive meeting minutes. of
Yeah,
March
I'd
11th.
like to make a motion to approve the regular and executive meeting minutes of March 11th and regular meeting minutes of March 25th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I believe I have to abstain. I was not at one of those two meetings. I believe.
Okay.
New business, ordinance.
Okay, we will have a second reading on ordinance 2025-10. This ordinance amends certain provisions of the Township Code at chapters 12 and 35 to reflect certain conditions for the issuance of certificates of occupancy consistent with the New Jersey Uniform Construction Code and updating the penalties for violations of the township's land use code.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-10, as read by Madam Clerk, with publication in the local source on May 22nd, 2025.
Second.
Open to the public. On this, anybody from the public want to come up and speak on it? Seeing none, close to the public. Roll call.
Committeeman Kaiser.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Laufer.
Yes.
Committeeman Capides.
Yes.
Committeeman Weber.
Yes.
Mayor Huber.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2025-12. This ordinance of the Township of Springfield, County of Union, New Jersey, is to introduce the redevelopment plan for 597 Morris Avenue, identified as Block 505, Lot 1, within the Township of Springfield.
Alex? Just consulting your legal counsel. I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-12 as read by Madam Clerk with publication in the local source on May 22nd, 2025.
Second.
Open to the public. Anybody from the public like to speak on
This
it?
is Scotty's, I believe.
Uh,
So everybody knows the massive.
Yeah, presentation, yeah.
So let me just give you some facts on this, if I may. Here's the rendering of what the building will look like. We're probably looking at 2 years for completion. So what we have here is we have 38 age-restricted units. This is 55 and older. Within this, there are 6 units that are affordable. 18 two-bedroom units are in there. There's 20 one-bedroom units. 4,300 square feet of amenity space. There's a dog park. There's 65 parking spaces, inclusive of 7 for electric vehicles. So all our parking is underneath. We're fully parked. There's no entrance or exit on Morris Ave. Streetscape and landscaping improvements along Morris Avenue and Walter Shore Way. The property is within our overlay zone. This is for our 3rd round that was done in our affordable housing. And the redevelopment plan is consistent with the master plan and the reexamination that we did. Are there any questions on the details asked so far?
No, sir.
Committeeman Kaiser has some comments.
For sure. This, once again, continues our work trying to get a downtown redevelopment, continue to clean up lots, continue to make improvements to our town, and be proud of properties that come in. This is certainly a lot of work that goes into any redevelopment plan that comes before us and starts with our legal counsel, our planner, Mike Mistretta, and of course our administrator, John, who worked tirelessly to come up with a design of a building that meets and exceeds the expectations of not only the TC, but of the entire community, and that one can be proud of. This has been a institution, right? Scotty's has been around for a long, long time, and a lot of people have hung out there for a long time, and it was at one point a pride and a great location for our community where lots of people hung out. Unfortunately, the economies have changed, and it was no longer serving its communal purpose. And the building over time and that corner has changed quite dramatically and has, for lack of a better term, become run down. This building and this opportunity at 597 Morris Avenue certainly will be a building that, as it welcomes in on that corner of really the start of the Springfield downtown, will be something that I think we can all be proud of. I plan to vote yes, and I encourage everybody to do that. But just before we do that, you know, the TC worked on this a couple of weeks ago. We introduced a resolution and adopted a redevelopment plan on April 22nd. We referred it at that point to the planning board for review, and the planning board reviewed it, their redevelopment plan, at the May 12th meeting and issued its report on May 13th. We've all had that opportunity to review that up here. And instead I am going to move our ordinance that adopted a redevelopment plan as we introduced it on April 22nd, 2025, without any changes, as the plan introduced satisfies all legal requirements and is consistent with the goal and objectives of the township master plan and meeting its affordable housing obligations. With that, I'm very proud of the work that we all have done up here, and thank you.
Chris,
finish, I'll go.
Sure. Everything has been changed. There is nothing on the ground level except for parking at this point, right?
That's correct.
Like, and then a stairway or an elevator go up?
Elevators.
Excellent.
I'll say a couple things. Alex, first off, brilliantly presented. John, well done as well. As everybody up here knows, I'm not a fan of housing over there. It is a massive upgrade from what is there, that is to be certain. But I will be abstaining because I do not believe housing is the right fit for that corner.
I was against it because of the traffic that's going to cause. Hope I'm wrong. That's all I can say. That's it. Also, since the public saw the first sign of that, does they have anything to say about it?
Can I just make one more comment? I'm going to just go on what Harris said. You know, this piece of land was for sale for a few years, right? This thing started, if I remember right, I think it started at $4 million, $3 million. It just kept chiseling down and down. Starbucks looked at it. Everybody's looked at this piece of property. I'm not saying you're wrong that I wouldn't love to have something additional other than housing, but when something is for sale for that length of time and not one retailer picks it up, I don't know what you think else is going to go there.
Not to hammer the point
Yeah,
away,
go
but
ahead, please.
we up here did have we had a proposal presented to us, I think a number of years ago, a developer that came with an idea for, I thought, a daycare center and even smaller housing obligations. That deal fell through. It just, the economics didn't make sense. There was a number of restaurants that the chain restaurants that looked at it, that just fast casual, I would say, that looked at it, that didn't meet its, it couldn't make it work there. At a certain point, and I don't think anybody has a desire to, we want to see housing, but at a certain point, you either have an option of empty, abandoned building and or making an improvement with housing, and I think this is a building that will serve our older population, 55 plus. It won't be a burden on our township schools. I agree. I'm not a huge fan of first level apartments. We made those changes, and the developer, took its time, developed something. We originally, I think, as planned, it didn't have as much green space.
Correct.
On that land, right? There was limited. We pushed. We got more green space. So at the end of the day, I think this is a better project than when it first came to us. It's probably the best project we've had come to us in many years on this piece of land. So if you're giving me two options, there's no day that I'm not choosing, hey, make the improvement now, clean up a corner that is certainly a welcome point to our community, and allow it to help meet our obligations of affordable housing and so forth. So I'm proud to vote in yes.
There's significantly more permeable surface than there was, because that place was blacktopped from corner, from lot to lot to lot. It is 55 and older. And it's also unfair to the property owners at this point when they have a piece of property for sale for X amount of years. And this is the only people that come around that want to build on it. So I'm also going to be voting yes.
Committeeman Kaiser.
Wait, we have to close the public hearing.
Okay.
Vote.
Committeeman Kaiser.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Laufer.
Abstain.
Committeeman Capides.
Yes.
Committeeman Weber.
Yes.
Mayor Huber.
Yes.
Okay. Ordinance 2025-13. This ordinance amends provisions in Chapter 2 of the Township Code regarding the organization of the Township's Police Department.
Mr. Mayor, I move ordinance 2025-13 with publication in the local source, May 22, 2025.
I will second that.
Anybody from the public want to talk about this? Seeing none, close to the public. Roll call? Or anybody have anything?
We were going to have police department leadership kind of run through what this ordinance does, and then I would invite anybody who has questions, anybody here who has questions, to, after the presentation by our leadership, to ask them. So, police leadership, can you come up?
Committee and the community. When the big gave their presentation for the budget before, Mike kind of referred to it as a reset. That's kind of what we're doing with the police department, is we're kind of looking at it and doing a reset on how we can provide the best services to the township and maximize the public safety return on investment. The biggest change that you'll see on the table of organization is kind of a restructuring of the command structure of the police department. As it was, we had a lot of lower level supervision and patrol, and now we're kind of bringing back more upper management to kind of balance everything out and create a full functioning chain of command again, which we haven't had for some time. We're going to add positions such as a community policing unit, a dedicated traffic unit. We're going to expand the size of the detective bureau by adding criminal interdiction officers, professional standards officers. Now to do that, we're going to have to pull officers from patrol to bring these into these units, but at the same time, some of the responsibilities of the patrol's officers will be going to these other units, so it's going to take some of the pressure off of what they have to do on their day-to-day operations. Also, because of that, the officers that are assigned to these special units will have to supplement patrol when necessary, backfill if there's shortages in patrol, just to make sure the department stays functioning. But ultimately, again, we'll be able to provide the community with a higher level of services and you'll be seeing us doing things that we haven't done before.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. This took a good amount of time to create, and I am very happy with it. I love the structure of it. From, coming from my police background, this almost mirrors something that my department, when I was working, would have done. Skirmishes, if we go back a few months ago, skirmishes between government and departments happen, and that is just what it is. And I will tell you that Deputy Mayor Laufer and I have met with the PBA and the SOA, and we've talked, and we're all on good terms. And the fact of the matter is, sometimes you have to have some kind of change to reinvigorate the workforce or spark up interest in and excitement in the job, because you do the same job over and over and over again. Sometimes it becomes a little monotonous and not as adventurous as you thought it was going to be. What I appreciate about this chart is that this takes a lot of people out of standard patrol cars, right? It gives them a chance to do different details and opportunities, one of which is, we're community service is the one that I would say that the five of us are mostly interested in up here, because that's the outreach that us as the government officials want to see the police department interact with the township. So I'm very pleased with it. I love it. Great job on it. And thank you to the PBA and the SOA for working with us on it, and looking forward to seeing it actually come to be.
So everything that Committeeman Weber said is 1,000% spot on. First and foremost, I want to thank Chief Cook, Captain Rachel, Lieutenant Westover. You guys have kind of served as resources on this. When we got together in January, both Chris and myself said police, we felt, did not run in a modern way. And I believe that this table of organization not only modernizes what we do currently, but also it'll save money. And the reason it'll save money is because we have built in redundancies and allowed for people to backfill when we need people on the road. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity here to do non-quote-unquote patrol things. But we've built this table of organization to make sure that the meat and potatoes policing, the everyday policing, does not get ignored in favor of the cool stuff, in favor of the ability to Rambo up.
No matter what unit you're in, you're still a police officer, and you're still
Correct.
to back up or supplement as needed.
Correct.
Right,
So-
let's be very clear, no lack of services or no loss of services
Correct.
to the public. As a matter of fact, we gain.
It should
We're going to be
it should only
gaining
improve.
versatility as a department,
Yes.
100%. So I absolutely want to thank you three. I want to thank PBA and SOA for starting a dialogue on this. Haven't always agreed, but that's dialogue, and I certainly appreciate it. I mean, this provides for a lot of our police officers to play to their strengths. And I think, whether it is in government, whether it is in corporate life, whether it is in any professional setting you wish, you want your people playing to their strengths. And I believe that this does this in a huge way. And I think this is a massive upgrade from where we were. So I encourage everybody to take a look at the diagram on the screen before we vote.
Captain, do you want to just review that? Do you want to?
Yeah.
just give
Yeah,
a
I'll
quick
just-
summary of it real
I'll
quick?
just give it a
Committeeman
brief.
Weber, can I just interrupt? Can you email that to me? I'll run down and print it out, so you guys.
It's unprintable, it's just too large.
It,
I've
yeah,
tried,
it's,
yeah.
it's, unless you've got like unless you've got a ream of
I
paper.
want to see that. I mean, I'm sorry. Right now, if we voted, I abstain, because I want to see that. Actually, it was 2 sheets of paper. I want to see it, and I want to look at it. Not voting on it.
Can we print it?
Can I
Because,
just email it to you, and you can look at it on your own screens? I could do that right now.
I mean, if you want to look at it on my laptop, you're more than welcome
No,
to.
I mean, yeah, but I want to look at it and study it. I mean, I don't know.
Mr. Mayor, I have to agree with you. This is the second reading, and we did have the information, but I've never seen it like that before. And that, I'm a visual person, and that would definitely help me to understand exactly what's going on.
Well, I can filibuster for a while. I always. I heard that, Madam Clerk. Did we get minutes today?
I mean, I like to look at it and study it and see what it is before I vote on it.
It's on second reading.
I don't disagree, but I I'll do my comments now. I've talked at length with Committeeman Laufer, who I know put extensive work in with Committeeman Weber, who worked diligently over the past weeks with our, of course, police leadership, who always work hard. And everybody took a holistic view and an approach and did some reflecting and saw that we could modernize our department. And I'm always very deeply appreciative of everybody who puts in time and works, and you all did a great job with this. And while I too would love to see the, just because charts excite me, I will be voting in favor and appreciate everybody's time and effort into this.
I would like to echo Committeeman Kaiser's comments. I do appreciate everyone's work on this, and I certainly appreciate Deputy Mayor Laufer and Committeeman Weber. And as it's written in this ordinance, I felt pretty good about, but seeing that and realizing that there's a bit more to it, it's a bit more nuanced than has it's written, I would feel more comfortable if I understood exactly what was on that chart before I voted. I would.
It's on your way. It's on its way to you.
Can I ask a question, point of clarification?
Hold it, 1 second.
I'm sorry.
Mayor, could I just clarify what's being voted on, by the ordinance, which will enable what's being depicted on the screen? The ordinance, the purposes of the table of organization in the ordinance, what the township's required to do is establish the maximum number of individuals that can occupy each position. That's what the ordinance does. It changes some of those numbers. When that is done, that will enable that and other organizational that and other organizational determinations will give the police department the ability to structure the bureaus in the way that's being depicted on the screen. Table of organization in the ordinance itself doesn't address the different bureaus. It only addresses the maximum complement of individuals that would occupy each position. Just, they go hand in hand. I just wanted to make, just in terms of what we're voting on.
Greg, I appreciate that. And
It's in your email.
And I appreciate that, and I understand that, and even if I look at it now, I quite frankly don't think it's fair for me to make a decision right now, looking at this right now in the moment. Obviously, it doesn't sound like I have the vote, like everyone else is in agreement with this. You know, respectfully, and again, everyone hopefully knows how I feel about the police and what we do for the community. I'm gonna have to respectfully abstain from this because I don't understand that chart in relation to what I'm voting for this evening. And I hope my colleagues respect and understand that.
Can I ask just a point of clarification to Captain Rachel?
Sure.
Fill in the boxes, that does or does not increase the amount of officers we need to fill that chart?
This chart is based on the 3 officers that we hired today.
So there will not be,
That was the start of getting this new table of organization into play.
I just wanted to make the
And-
point that
and
we're not
certain
gonna have
things
to
in here-
bring in more officers in order to get
No,
there.
no, we're at.
That's
we're at-
what I just wanted to make sure the public understood
correct.
that was clear.
That would have been like the first step to moving forward with this. Without that, this wouldn't be possible.
So Captain, what the implementation date is, we anticipated September?
We're hoping September.
So the real point of this is that if we got to sit on this for a meeting or two, this isn't taking place until September. So if you guys want to park this for, to review it for a meeting, it's not going to matter.
Why don't we just hold it, we're taking action later in the meeting, that gives you time to get us on the.
Yeah, but why don't we table it till next meeting? Why can't, will it hurt you?
You gotta repost.
Will it hurt you?
Because we would have to go back onto first reading.
Yeah.
Like, we would have to, right?
No, we won't have to do that, but we'll have to republish. We can table second reading, still do second reading at another meeting, but we'll have to republish.
What's the time frame of setback? One meeting?
Is it one meeting or two meetings?
No, it would be June 11th.
So it's two meetings.
27th.
Because yes, I don't think.
Again, my plan is just to abstain. I don't know if that affects your plans moving forward, Mr. Mayor, if you want to carry it through, but I'm not.
Listen, I anticipate we have the three to carry
Yeah,
it
if
through.
we have three,
but-
I
but
wanna
if-
carry it
if-
through.
I would say this, I don't have a problem with letting it be reviewed. It doesn't, again, it's not coming through till
To the end of the
September.
meeting, we still have significant, we still have
a bunch of
another-
meeting left.
We still have another ordinance, we still have multiple resolutions, we still have an executive session.
Up.
Oh, that was a good suggestion.
There we go.
No, that fits.
Why don't we table it until the end of the meeting?
Yeah, just hold, we can hold the.
And the ordinance will remain open.
Hold on, before you table anything.
We don't have to table anything.
We've got the captain here. I think that everybody has a copy in front of them. You want to break it down for them at that point, so
Yeah.
they know what they're looking at?
Chris, I think this is an excellent idea. Why don't you break it down?
And do a comparison of what we are now versus where we're going, or what we're looking to go to. All while you're doing it in the microphone.
So from what I'm seeing on this, you're going to two captains, from one to two, am I correct? Correct. You're going from 4 lieutenants to 5.
Correct.
Hold on, we got to get him into the microphone because nobody can hear him, what's going on.
Can we pull this?
No.
We got it. Hold on. Let's do this the right way, guys. Magic.
It's hard to.
Take my phone.
This, what's on the screen now, it's not what you have printed in front of you.
We know.
I can't blow it up any more than this. Maybe I can.
But you don't have to, because honestly, that's our current structure.
That is our current.
Everybody here
structure,
should
but
know what our
even-
current structure
even
is.
We're not really currently structured this way because with our lieutenant staffing, we really only have one lieutenant that's assigned to the entire, one lieutenant that's assigned to the entire
Just take it
patrol
off.
division at this point. So even this is slightly inaccurate. This goes back to 2022, how we were. More or less, we had a very large patrol unit, and we tasked our officers with doing many other things, including going into the schools, attending events when they were occurring, which is probably not the optimal way to utilize manpower. So rethinking, what the best course of action would be, and also looking at the Ambrose report that was done. You know, they made some suggestions in there, and there's different table of organizations they proposed. What we're doing here is kind of like using a combination of that and establishing dedicated community policing units, traffic units, and expanding the detective bureau to actually have detectives that we'll call them criminal interdiction officers that are more proactive. They're out on the street, and they're, you know, actively looking for things and you know, trying to deter crime. And again, yes.
If you assign somebody to one of those boxes, does that become permanent forever for that person?
No.
Okay.
They would be temporary assignments. I don't think it would be appropriate to put a time limit on them, because if somebody is, you know, doing a really good job, I don't think it would be in the best interest to remove them right away just to give somebody else a chance, but there should be some kind of rotation so everybody gets a chance to
So
have.
there's an opportunity for
Correct.
people to move within
We
the
don't, we don't want the
organization.
positions to stay stagnant.
Can I add something to this? All right. When you're hired as a police officer, your job is to answer calls and calls for service and do the functions of a police officer. Let's be clear on that. When you ask for a community service unit or community relations unit or whatever you want to call it, certain police officers have different skill sets. Sure. That is just a fact. And the way it was structured before, you always tried to put the better person for the specific task at hand in there, but at times, not everybody is always geared for specific tasks. And the fact of the matter is, you can't blame them because that was not on their list when they be hired as a police officer. Your job as a police officer was to protect the public. So I just wanted to add that there are very specialized units that require certain things. A traffic unit, when I became a police officer, I wasn't required to ride a motorcycle. I got picked to ride a motorcycle, and because I wanted to do it, and I went and did it. And then I didn't like it. I didn't want to do it anymore. But that's the point, is that, you know, it's not for everybody. And that's why this chart is important when you're breaking it down, is that it's going to try to pick people's special points or give people a chance to show what they may be good at, with the exception of just standard answering a patrol call for, you know, a robbery in progress or whatever. So, sorry, continue.
Yes. So in the past, you know, we had a very large patrol division and, you know, a smaller investigative division. And our patrol officers were still tasked with certain things to do other than, you know, your basic patrol work, answering calls and doing, you know, the regular police officer's duties. This is going to kind of reverse that, and you'll have these specialized units where that's going to be the focus of those officers, but they could still be called upon to supplement patrol, to, you know, fill gaps if we have manpower shortages. And ultimately, with the way the schedule is going to be set up, we're going to have a lot of officers here during the daytime that, you know, we're all still police. If something happens, you know, we'll have a large response, a lot of personnel available if we need them.
But don't we have that now?
No,
No.
No, we don't.
not at all.
And Mr. Mayor, and excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt your presentation, but now I get this, and now I appreciate this, and now I understand what's going on. Because, and I agree with you, when I got this, the ordinance as written, I was completely content with that, and I was completely on board with everything that was in here. But as our captain began to give his presentation, I quickly realized that this ordinance is a bit more nuanced than I had first thought. And now, having received this and having it fully explained to me how this increases our customer service, I am more comfortable in voting on this tonight. it was not until tonight, until this presentation, that I fully understand now what the expectations are, because up until this point, I had no idea it was this nuanced, and it was this, being this revitalized. Like, I have been on public safety since I've been on here, and this is very passionate for me and very close to my heart. And I did not realize the depth of this until it was presented by our captain, which I appreciate. And now seeing this, and I'm sorry for extending the meeting for 20 more minutes.
No problem.
I needed to know what this was, because I didn't know exactly all this entailed until right now.
But the thing is, right now we have one captain.
Me.
Yeah, now you're gonna have two captains. So your budget's going up and up and up.
That's not correct.
How can it be not
Because
correct?
we are eliminating 2 sergeant spots, which are much larger overtime suckers than a captain.
Where are the sergeants going? Back to patrol?
No, we are reprogramming how we are utilizing the existing resources in the department. We are removing a sergeant.
And what is he gonna, he's taking a cut in pay?
No.
Well, then, how can you tell me?
One is going, when we're gonna, with the promotional of a captain, you're gonna see a promotion of a lieutenant, which will take 2 from the rank of sergeant, which will take them from
That's cost us more money.
we have 10 right now, but what's happening with the sergeants we're finding is that because they are on patrol, they are the ones that are
Taking the overtime
taking most of the overtime.
at a supervisor's rate.
Yeah, right,
A sergeant is a supervisor.
correct. But, so there,
So why, if we have 10 sergeants right now, right? There's 10 sergeants, you're going down to 8. Then you're going up to 1 lieutenant. More money. Don't tell me.
but he's not, we don't anticipate it being an overtime position.
It's not, because you have,
With the captain
on the
either.
higher ranks of the department, there is less overtime being used. Captain Rachel, for instance, is not a large overtime, not to single you out, does not occupy overtime.
No, you could single him out, he is
He
zero
doesn't
overtime.
occupy overtime. Lieutenants who are in charge of administrative services would not necessarily be a use for overtime unless there's possible accreditation. The key of the rationale behind removing 2 sergeants and reprogramming those assets into different roles is to reduce the cost of overtime without sacrificing people that are on the street. So at the same number of people will be on the street, people will just be used differently. And with the more adaptability of the department, we need the ability to supervise the new units, which calls for the changes in supervisory staff.
Well, we're actually increasing, with the hire of 3 tonight.
Yep.
We're going from 27 to 30, so you'll actually have better services.
Correct.
Out there with the additional officers. And let's be clear, the officers, I don't know if I was late to the meeting, I apologize for my wardrobe. I was at the Dayton softball game late. I don't know if it was discussed, but the 3 that were hired were simply replacing what we needed due to loss of department members.
Salaries, you're getting more salary. I mean, black and white. I'm looking black and white, it's more money. Forget about the overtime and all that other stuff.
How can you forget?
You're gonna guarantee me.
But
that
how?
it's not-
But
you're not gonna
Rich.
work overtime.
But Rich, how can you forget about the overtime when we have said meeting after meeting after meeting that the overtime is out of control?
And you don't think it should be out of control with this?
I'm not.
You guarantee me.
Overtime
No,
will
you
go.
can't guarantee me.
Overtime will go down. I'm not saying it's going to solve a problem, but in order to walk a football field, you first have to walk 10 yards.
Has this, just a question, I'm sure you didn't just draw this up out of the air, right? Are we copying other municipalities, organizations?
There's no small police department that I know that runs this way, but it's kind of like taking a big scale police department, like a city police department, and condensing it to a Springfield level, that we could still
have these units still function. Again, but it's going to depend on officers that are in these units backfilling and, and backing up officers in patrol. That's going to be key. And again, that should help with any, preventing overtime because the shortages will be covered by those officers.
I mean, I back the police, I back the fire 100%. But what I'm looking at is costing me more money. Until you can prove to me in black and white, it's not gonna cost me more money. I'm only one vote. So, I mean, that's the way I feel. I'll let it out. And
Can we call the question?
what?
Can we call the vote? Unless people have more.
I'll call the vote, see what happens.
Is it me? I will make a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-14 as read by Madam Clerk with publication in the local source on May 22nd, 2025.
I did that already, but second.
Oh,
Yeah, we're just roll calling now.
oh, we already did that, so.
Yeah, we did that.
Deputy Mayor Laufer.
Yes.
Mayor Laufer.
Yes.
Committeeman Kaiser.
Yes.
Committeeman Kapidis.
Yes.
Committeeman Weber.
Very happily, yes.
Mayor Huber.
Same.
Okay. Ordinance passes.
Thank you.
Okay, we will have the first reading on ordinance 2025-15. This ordinance amends the Township Code at Chapter 7 to,
Oh, Madam Clerk, we still need 14.
oh, I'm sorry.
See, I think I read,
I'm
I
sorry.
think I made the motion for 14, I'll be completely honest, and
Okay,
no one caught me on that.
okay.
Madam Clerk, oh, you got to read the ordinance. first. Sorry.
2025-14, this ordinance amends Chapter 2, Administration of the Township Code to create an advisory committee to review issues on redevelopment and the public school system.
Madam Clerk, I would like to move ordinance 2025-14 with publication in the local source, May 22nd, 2025.
I will second.
All right. Public hearing. Public, anybody from public want opinions about this?
This is a result of meetings we've had with the Board of Education. The Board of Education is aware of this ordinance. I believe they'll respond to it. And when the time comes, we'll name members to a committee and we can talk about how to negotiate pilot agreements should they come up.
All right. Seeing none, public is closed. Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Laufer.
Yes.
Committeeman Kaiser.
Yes.
Committeeman Kapidis.
Abstain.
Committeeman Weber.
Yes.
Mayor Huber. Okay.
First reading.
Ordinance 2025-15. This ordinance amends the Township Code at Chapter 7 to modify and supplement the township's traffic regulations regarding streets where parking is prohibited at all times.
Loeffler.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-15 as read by Madam Clerk with publication in the local source on May 22nd, 2025, with a final hearing scheduled on June 11th, 2025.
May I have a second?
Second.
Can we get a
Discussion.
short explanation?
Mr. Mayor, I can explain. So this ordinance, this is an update to parking prohibitions. This is in and around the exit and entrance, the driveway to Mizell Park. So this creates a no parking zone on 25 feet on either side of that driveway.
Either side of it?
Wait,
It's to help, and I think the police department can chime in if they'd like to, but this is to help improve sightlines for people that are coming out and for cars that are traveling down Mizell to be able to see the cars that are getting ready to pull out onto Mizell.
Much needed.
Much needed. Much needed.
Anything else? Chris?
I'm just sorry that we only did 25 feet, but go ahead.
Okay.
Roll call.
Yep.
Committeeman Kaiser.
yes.
Committeeman Weber.
Yes.
Committeeman Kapidis.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Laufer.
Yes.
Mayor Huber.
Yes.
Can I just, before we go on, just one thing, because this ties into that. unfortunately, the crosswalk question comes up to Mizell all the time, and why there's not a crosswalk there. There's not a crosswalk there because it doesn't lead to anything. There's nothing there but woods. So that's a whole nother conversation.
It would also be an incredibly bureaucratic process to put a crosswalk there.
You've got to create sidewalks.
Correct. It would be a lot.
All right. Resolutions, 20, 25, 30.
We're gonna pull that.
Yep, we gotta pull that.
We gotta pull it to amend.
And 136? Okay?
Yep.
All right, 137? 138?
Yep.
139?
Yep.
140? 141? 142?
Pull that one, please.
143? 144?
Yep.
145?
Yep.
Have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move resolutions 136 through 141, and then resolutions 143 and 144 by consent agenda.
145.
And 145.
Can I have a
Second.
roll call?
Deputy Mayor Laufer.
Yes.
Committeeman Kaiser.
Yes.
Committeeman Capides.
Yes.
Committeeman Weber.
Yes.
Mayor Huber.
Yes. All right. 135?
Okay, Resolution 2025-135. This resolution adopts the 2025 budget for the Springfield Community Partnership.
Mr. Mayor, I move resolution 2025-135 as amended, given the $16.10 with the discount on Jay's phone.
Have a second?
Second.
Okay. Deputy Mayor Laufer.
Yes.
Committeeman Kaiser.
Yes.
Committeeman Capides.
Yes.
Committeeman Weber.
Yes.
Mayor Huber.
Yes.
Okay, Resolution 2025-142. This resolution authorizes the execution of a memorandum of agreement between the Township of Springfield and AFSCME modifying certain terms of the parties' collective negotiations agreement.
Kaiser?
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2025-142 as read by Madam Clerk.
Second.
The only reason I pulled this, and certainly this organization certainly knows how I feel about them in my heart of hearts, but the only purpose I did is just to abstain.
All right, roll call?
Committeeman Kaiser.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Laufer.
Yes.
Committeeman Capides.
Abstain.
Committeeman Weber.
Yes.
Mayor Huber.
Yes. That's it, correct. All right. Finance report?
No discussion and action items.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of Marissa Ruggiero from her positions on the Environmental Commission and as the Environmental Commission's liaison to the Planning Board.
I will second that. Sorry to see her go.
All in favor?
I agreed. She was
Regrettably.
very knowledgeable, and she will be missed, but thank you, Marissa, for your service.
Approve the request from Troy Hill Condo Association to use Chisholm Community Center meeting room on Tuesday, May 27th, 6 to 9, association meeting. Hold harmless and certificate of insurance provided. Robert?
Motion.
Second.
Oh. Committeeman Capides.
Okay.
Roll call?
Deputy Mayor Laufer.
Aye. Yes.
Committeeman Capides.
Yes.
Committeeman Weber.
Yes.
Mayor Huber.
Approve the request from New York Blood Center in New Jersey Blood Service to hold a blood drive at Chisholm Community Center on Wednesday, July 2nd, from 5:30 to 9.
I will make the,
Certificate of insurance.
yeah, I'll make the motion, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay, I know, it's.
It's a roll call.
Committeeman Kaiser.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Laufer.
Yes.
Committeeman Capides.
Yes.
Committeeman Weber.
Yes.
Mayor Huber.
Finance.
I will make a motion to adopt payroll and invoices for the period of April 23rd, 2025 through May 13th, 2025 in the amount of $16,553,120.23.
It's that 23 cents that's going to kill you, but I second.
Committeeman Kaiser,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Laufer,
Yes.
Committeeman Capides,
Yes.
Committeeman Weber,
Yes.
Mayor Huber.
Yes. Correspondence, public hearing regarding JCP&L, BPU docket, EOR 250, 2,000, 227. Purdue McCarthy, LLC, bond counsel regarding bond anticipation note. Assemblyman John Allen, appreciation for adopting resolutions in support of Assembly Bill A4696, New Jersey Climate Superfund Act. Now, public comment on any government issue. None?
Can I chime in for Mr. Bartosh? I know he had a question that he emailed in.
I'm right here.
Way to stay on top of it.
Although it was answered early on in the meeting with our promotions, he had asked, I believe, if we're up to full staff now, which by what we did tonight, our ceremonial swearing-ins, not only meet what we had, but we are now excel that and at a new level. So in answer to his question, that is, yes, we are at full staff.
You also had one about the park.
It's about Oakland Park, and we kind of answered that. We're doing the survey next week. Once that is done, there will be public hearings in the committee meetings discussing Oakland Park as we go along. We're looking at topography to be done, grading, drainage, all of that has to be rolled in before anything is done. So that will be discussed in detail, and if anyone has any questions, you're welcome to come and present them.
That will be discussed in public on recorded.
Multiple times.
Thank you.
At the next meeting?
I don't want anything regarding Oakland Park, same as we did with Ruby. We held it open to the township, let them come in, because those closed-door sessions don't work so well.
All right. Hope that answers your question. All right,
Yeah.
we have executive session.
Okay, Resolution 51325, whereas Article 6 of the Open Public Meetings Act provides that a public body may hold a closed session, and whereas the Township Committee will, during this meeting, enter into discussion of the following matters: attorney-client privilege and personnel, whereas the matters to be discussed in closed session are to remain in the strictest of confidence by all Township Committee members in furtherance of their fiduciary duties to the Township. Now therefore be it resolved, matters discussed at this meeting will be released to the public when the reasons for discussing and acting upon them in closed session no longer exist. Motion?
I'll make the motion. Before we go into exec, I forgot to say something. Want to recognize Liz Fritzen. She was honored by the Union County Human Relations Commission for her outstanding years of public service in Maplewood, and most importantly, in Springfield. We thank her. She is the human personification of public service, and we are very appreciative of her efforts.
Second.
Second, and I co-sign everything he just said. Thank you, Liz.
Can I make a last-minute acknowledgement? Maybe you reminded me of
Go ahead.
something. We had several of our officers do the police unity tour. However, one of our Class 2 officers, Officer Nachi, he was the support team driver, and from what I understand, I found out today, he had come across a vehicle fire that had a family trapped in the vehicle, and he and a few others pulled over, and he was instrumental in getting the family out of the car. So I just wanted to acknowledge. I just found that out a few hours ago, and just wanted to mention that.
When you get the official details, please give them to us, but that's like right place at right time. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, thank you.
Captain Mastroni, you had one?
Yes, if I could, please. I just want to take a moment to recognize the fire department. We recently received the New Jersey State Valor Award. We had an incident that occurred with a multi-jurisdictional department. You know, this award is great to always show acknowledgement to what we do every day. This award is a small fraction of what our job entails. You know, our guys go out every single day and they put their heart into it, and they achieve greatness all the time. So this award was given on behalf of the NJ FMBA to Captain Correa, firefighter Michael Santoro, firefighter Nicholas Garciano, firefighter Michael Ridge, and firefighter Mike Venadia. This recognition basically reflects how every role is vital in emergency operations. And this award is a testament to their knowledge, their skills, and their professionalism. It also exemplifies the standards that we always try to uphold in our department. This is something that I'm so proud of. You know, when we get good news like this, it makes our whole department proud and joy about it. So this was recognized by the Summit Fire Department, which included us in this award, which is just a great thing for us.
Captain Correa's smile was just tremendous.
He'll work on smiling, absolutely. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. That's pretty great.
Just because I'm neurotic, I think we need to make that motion again. So I'm going to make that motion to go into executive session for another time, just for the clean record. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and we may be taking action after
Yes.
this meeting,
After the closed session,
after the closed session.
for adjournment.
I'm Rachel. He's got something next to me. Tomorrow, the school, Dayton, 7:30, you have a police officer there, but also, that's only, freshmen are only going in at 7:30. 9:20 is when the rest of the school is going in. They did it today, they didn't say anything to anybody. So can we just have an extra police officer there at 9:20? You know, for a half hour, whatever it is, to make sure. All right, going into session.
I'm telling you.
Where's Chrissy? I saw him come out of here.
You really have no life.
Yes. I am. Yeah. Okay, I will. No, no. I know, I wasn't, I wouldn't. Okay. Somebody's-
All right, we're back.
Someone making a motion? to-
What's the resolution number?
What was the last one? 146, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion to adopt resolution 2025-146.
I second
This
that motion.
Resolution authorizes the promotion of Michael Mastroni to the position of Deputy Fire Chief.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Can I just note that Committeeman Capides got a call, and he is not in session.
Yeah, he had an emergency he had to go to.
Okay. Committeeman Kaiser?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Laufer?
Enthusiastically, yes.
Committeeman Weber?
It's about time, yes.
Mayor Huber?
Sure. Congratulations, Mike.
And we will be doing a formal ceremony here for you.
Hey, you gotta, wait, we're all going out to dinner on you.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a formal ceremony for you here when it's not 10 o'clock at night and everything else. But
Do I have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Let's go.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.